Good morning, everyone. And I have discussed the neurons in the first part, the structure of the neurons. The structure of the neurons, that is the cell body, the or perikaryon, the nucleus substance, the cytoplasm, and the pigments granules, that is the neuromelanin pigment, and the neurons. And what is the neurites? The neurites, the process arising from the cell body of the neurons, are called the neurites. The neurites, and these neurites are the axon and dendrites. The process arising from the cell body of a neuron, suppose this is the cell body, and different process arising from this cell body, that is the dendrites, and this is the axon. Then these are called the neurites, that is the axon or the dendrite. Now the longest axon is 1 meter long. This is, I have shown the axon, this is the axon, these are the dendrites, and in the cytoplasm the nucleus granules are present, and the nucleus granules are present, and the nucleolus are also present. The oligodendrocytes are the supporting cells. These are the axons and the dendrites, the axon and dendrites, and these are collectively called the neurites. Now the longest axon is 1 meter long, and the axon is डिवाइड ऑफ निशस ग्रेन्यूल्स. निशस ग्रेन्यूल्स क्या होते हैं? वो एब्सेंट होते हैं एक्सॉन में, लेकिन निशस ग्रेन्यूल्स वो न्यूरॉन्स में प्रेजेंट रहते हैं. इन द एक्सॉन्स द निशस ग्रेन्यूल्स आर एब्सेंट, बट इन द साइटोप्लाज्म ऑफ द न्यूरॉन्स द निशस ग्रेन्यूल्स आर प्रेजेंट, एंड the cytoplasm of the axon is called the exoplasm, and the cell membrane is called the exolemma. Just in the cells, normal cells, the membrane is called the cell membrane. Here is the exolemma, name is exolemma, and the cytoplasm has a special name of the axon, is called the exoplasm. And what is next term is the axon hillock. What is axon hillock? In the axon, the nucleus substance is absent. The nucleus free zone of the axon extends for a short distance into the cell body. It extends into the cell body for some distance, and that is called the axon hillock. The nucleus free zone of the axon extends for a short distance into the cell body, is called the axon hillock. And what is the initial segment? The part of the axon just beyond the axon hillock, is called the initial segment. The part of axon just beyond the axon hillock is called the initial segment. And what is MAP2 protein? The MAP2 protein, this protein is present in dendrites and helps in their identification. The MAP2 protein, it is present in dendrites and helps in their identification. I have shown here the figure of a neurons, the cytoplasm, the dendrites are also present, multiple dendrites, and these are the axon. And here is the myelin sheath. These myelin sheath are formed by the neuroglia cells, that is the oligodendrocytes, and the Schwann cells. The Schwann cells form the supporting cells and form the myelin sheath in case of the peripheral nervous system, and the oligodendrocytes that forms the myelin sheath, or it is also supporting cells in case of the central nervous system. And nerve impulse travels away from the cell body. Here, from here the cytoplasm, the nerve impulse travels, and nerve impulse travels then to the motor end plate, and from the motor end plate the nerve impulse goes towards the skeletal muscles, and the skeletal muscles contract. Thus these are the pathway, the axons and the dendrites, and the neurons, the impulse travels away from the cell body. In the axon, impulse travels away from the cell body, and the neurons goes towards the neural end plate, motor end plate, and skeletal muscle, towards the skeletal muscle, and skeletal muscle will contract. This is the neurons. What is the difference between the neurons, between the axons and the dendrite? I will discuss in the next part. Thank you.